Guys, I need to get this off my chest. I really liked Creed 3. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For a first-time director, that movie was awesome. Michael B. Jordan is definitely a talented director. First off, if you're gonna watch the movie, watch it in a cinema. It's one of those movies that definitely benefits from watching in an actual cinema. For me, it hit the big three things correctly. The acting was amazing, especially from Jonathan Majors. That guy is taking over. And on a side note, that guy is huge! He's massive, look at the size of him! I mean, I'm bigger, but you can't see me, so you're just gonna have to trust me on that one. I don't even, he's obviously, been taking something extra, because there's no way a human being can produce that naturally. I mean, maybe. I was worried a little bit that when I watched this movie I would only see Kang, but Jonathan Majors is such a good actor that was not an issue at all. I really believed he was Damien Anderson, really fully believed it. For example, Michael B. Jordan's a good actor as well, but I can still kind of look at him as oh yeah, that's Michael B. Jordan. But Jonathan Majors, I don't see Jonathan Majors. I saw Damien Anderson. The acting from Michael B. Jordan was good as well, and Tessa Thompson, and even the daughter. One thing that did annoy me about the daughter, and I hate to say it, is there's a lot of subtitles. It's a sticky situation, because the reason they do it makes sense. They want you to kind of understand what it's like being deaf, so you can kind of relate with the character more. If I'm being honest, it was kind of distracting, and it was a little bit annoying having to read for a few minutes. If I wanted to read, I wouldn't be watching a movie. I'd probably just read a book. That might be a bit controversial, but I mean, it's called Off the Chest for a reason. Subscribe. What I really loved about the dynamic between the family was that it felt like a real family. It wasn't just some everyone was happy-go-lucky and everything was perfect. They were going through issues. They were having family drama. All the people in the family had different flaws. It was great. I love flaws. I've got plenty of them myself. I also loved Adonis's and Damien's dynamic. You can tell that the actors work really well together, and I hope to see them together in another movie. Another thing I really liked about the movie is that it lets you sit in scenes. It doesn't just rush things. It lets you really take a deep breath and understand what's going on fully, so you can relate fully to the character. You understand everyone's motivations. You understand Damien's motivations, Creed's motivations, the mother's motivations, the daughter's motivations, everyone's motivations. I don't think there's a single character in this movie that I couldn't relate to. And the thing about Jonathan Majors' character, Damien, he was just cool. He just did stuff in the movie that was just cool. That's the only way to describe it. Now, moving on to the storyline, it wasn't the most surprising plot. There were a lot of predictable moments. But the weird thing is, it didn't hinder the movie for me. It actually enhanced it. Nowadays, trailers give away the whole movie. So if you watch the trailer, you probably know what's going to happen. So instead, you kind of focus on the journey. And you kind of notice things that you wouldn't have noticed otherwise. To be fair, this is one of the first trilogies in a long time where one of the movies doesn't suck. One weird thing that I noticed, and I don't know if this is just me, at the end of the movie, I kind of felt a tiny bit anticlimactic. Just a tiny bit. And I'm not sure why, because I shouldn't have. But something made me feel that way, and I'm not sure what it is. It was almost like I wanted more, I wanted the story to continue, even though it ended well. Also, ladies and guy-attracted people, you're gonna love this movie.
I want to marry him. Oh my gosh, my husband. Oh my gosh, babies, have my babies. Oh my gosh, Jonathan Majors.
Shut up. The movie isn't good because he's good looking. It's good because the movie was well made. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the cinematography. It was very high quality, crisp. The sound quality was amazing. I mean, maybe that was just because I was in the cinema, but I don't know. Like, I remember thinking specifically, wow, the sound quality is really good. Every punch you can hear and you feel to your core. Hey, I felt like I was getting battered by Mike Tyson. The editing was also really good as well. Not quite as good as mine, but it'll do. Michael B. Jordan clearly took inspiration from anime. All my anime brothers and sisters are gonna love it. The only thing that I didn't fully like about the editing was some of the music choice. You can really tell they're trying to be really unique with the songs they're doing. But if I'm honest, some of the times the songs just didn't match what was going on in the movie. Especially because Rocky is very iconic for its music. And I feel like the music in this movie didn't really stand out to me. It wasn't anything special. And in a few years, you're not really gonna care. There's also a few nitpicks that I want to talk about, coming from a boxing fan. In a boxing match, it's usually whoever's the challenger whose name comes second in the promotion. But in this movie, they kind of just mixed and matched it. And like, they used first names and last names, and like, there was like first names against last names. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to, spoil the movie, but yeah, that kind of like threw me off. I was like, wait, what? Also, it's kind of ridiculous and corny that they're heavyweight. Like, I swear Michael Jordan's like 5'10 max. Like, and he's no Mike Tyson in the movie. And Jonathan Majors is meant to be like 6'1 in the movie. That's still small for a heavyweight. Like what? Also, whoever was editing this movie loves slow-mo. It was used effectively and I liked it, but maybe a bit too much. Just a tad bit. Oh, and by the way, don't get your hopes up. Rocky's not in the movie. So yeah, overall, great movie. I'm really glad I watched it. And I don't know if it's the best one in the franchise, because honestly, I really like Creed 2 as well. But I think it's better than the first one. I'm so glad I got that off my chest. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you'll wake up looking like Jonathan Majors.